Enrique, how's it been so far? It's your 7th day from the day of surgery, and today you're here for the head wash.
Yes.
So if I just ask you that how's your experience been so far in terms of traveling all the way from Oklahoma?
Yes, Oklahoma.
And then in India, and then deciding Eugenix, and I think you're leaving soon, right, back for safe.
Yeah.
So I just thought that I'll capture this experience of yours. We'll ask some more questions, but I just wanted to ask, how's it been in terms of how painful the surgery has been, or the discomfort after the 7 days? I mean, like in throughout this period of time. So how's it been?
Yeah, I mean, the process has been really, really good so far. Overall, I think the toughest part was getting here, right? Just getting here. I just really wanted to get here.
Just to interrupt you, I think that we'll save that for the later, that how you got the medical visa, because that itself is a big achievement.
Okay.
I think you were the first one in terms of my clientele, with the customers with whom I'm dealing internationally. You were the first one to drop me a message that, hey, I got the visa.
Yeah.
And that gave me a hope that during these tough times itself, there's someone, who has actually achieved to get a medical visa and travel all the way to India.
Yeah.
So we'll discuss about that as well.
We'll get to that then. Yeah.
The logistics, the traveling and everything, finding the tickets and coming over here and everything.
Yeah, I mean, finding the tickets was pretty easy. I booked in advance. As soon as I got the visa, I booked it, and everything was pretty easy. Getting to the airport, your guys picked me up from the airport to the to where I was gonna stay. Everything was seamless. The day of the operation was, I got here, everybody was so nice. Everybody, water, coffee, everything was super good. So you asked me about pain. I think pain is a really important factor for a lot of people that don't really know about the whole operation process and everything.
Yes.
For me, that was something that was really important, right? Like, is it gonna hurt? Is it gonna hurt after? After the operation is done, is it gonna hurt? And the answer is, I never really felt pain. I think the only thing was the anesthesia. But it was really fast, and after that you just feel like little scratches on your head, and that's it. You feel something, but you don't really feel pain. And after the operation, like it's been 8 days today, 8 days after the operation, and no pain.
No pain so far.
I think there was a little bit of discomfort the first night because I'm a side sleeper. So
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm more of a flat. I can sleep on my tummy, but I start from the sides, then on my tummy. But it.
So obviously, I had work here in the front. I can't sleep on my side or in the front, right? So I had to sleep,
How did you manage that?
I put pillows on the side.
That's what we tell all our.
Yeah, I put pillows on the side, and I actually I moved during the night a little bit, but nothing major happened.
Nothing major.
I woke up and then readjusted myself. Everything was fine, and then the next few days, like, my body knew that I had to sleep, facing up.
Okay.
So it was fine. It just feels. It's funny. The feeling is like you have a helmet on, and that's it. Okay. It's like that. That's how I felt.
I couldn't understand that. Like a helmet on.
Yeah, like for a bike, like for a bicycle helmet.
Okay. It feels like that.
It feels like there's pressure. But there's no pain.
There's no pain.
Yeah, it's just like a tight hat, or that's it.
Okay.
So, that's in regards to the staff here. I mean, everybody's so nice. Everybody's so kind. Of course, the coffee's great.
Coffee is great. That's something that I'll agree to it.
Yeah. So overall, the experience has been really good. Dr. Arika was the one who
she was a lead surgeon.
She was my lead surgeon.
Yes.
She was great also. So I mean, overall,
how was the overall confidence? Because like I remember I went for a surgery for a kidney stone.
Yeah.
And I remember my interaction with the staff was less because I was very anxious. So I was looking forward more towards the guy who will be actually operating. And my connection with him was so good that he actually made me feel that this is going to be super easy, and it was. So how was your connection with Dr. Arika Bansal in terms of how the comfort level? How did you feel that I'm in the right hands?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of that has to be done before you meet the surgeon, right?
Okay.
So I think the important part is the research. For me, I did a lot of research of a lot of doctors around the world.
Okay.
And Dr. Arika and Dr. Pradeep, like, just even hearing them talk, I started to feel that confidence. So even before meeting them in person, months before, I felt like I knew them because I watched so much of their content.
Yes.
I heard them talk about different topics, not only hair transplant, but also other topics, and you start developing some sort of relationship with them, and that's super important, because once I met Dr. Arika, it was like, I know you, we're friends already, even though she had no idea who I was. But that's super important. That sort of peace that you get from someone, even before meeting them, is super important, and that's the sort of calm and peace that I felt when I was doing my research. And as soon as I met Dr. Arika, the first thing she said was like, "Oh, Enrique, it's like my name, Arika, Enrique," So we instantly connected right there.
Yes.
And from there, it was all smooth. It was all really smooth. So and then from there, she talked me through the process. She explained to me what was going to be done, and the process was pretty seamless. It was very, very nice.
Wow. So if I ask you the first glimpse of Eugenix, like if you're looking for something, so where was the first glimpse in front of your eyes of Eugenix? Where was the first thing? Where was the first platform where you saw Eugenix?
That's a good question. I think on YouTube. On YouTube. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, I did a lot of research, but the good thing about Eugenix is that there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of testimonials from people.
Yes.
There's a lot of things for you to digest. So I think that was one of the first videos, or one of the first contents that I saw about Eugenix. And from there, I just started seeing everything, consuming all that information, because it was so, great result after great result. So I was the more I saw, the more I was convinced, and the more I felt at ease that I was making the right choice. So
great.
That's
it's very important to first educate. Even the ones who are not planning to come to us, but at least even if they're not coming to us, they should make a decision of not choosing a place where they won't get results as good or as satisfactory of what they're looking for, because this industry is purely result driven. The relation that me and you are making right now, it might spoil by the end of 9 and 10 months if you don't get nice results. But we are very confident in the work that we have done, and we know that the kind of results that Eugenix has been delivering, and we have been very consistent. And that's what I feel, that there are many clinics out there who, I'm not saying have not done good work, they have also done amazing job. But what makes you stand out from all those clinics is the consistency in those results. You have to be at par 100% on every surgery. You can't be like a one-time shot, like this surgery is good, but what about the other ones? So you have to be very consistent with all your results, and that's how you make a name out there in the market.
So I'll tell you one thing that obviously stood out about Eugenix, and I think you hit it right there, right? For me as a consumer, as a client, right? That's what I look for, consistency, because the consistency in results gives me that peace of mind that I'm going to be one more of the great results from the clinic. The thing about like other clinics, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they don't have consistent results, right? They have one good result, and then you see other 8 or 9, and they're like, like I saw this video about this one guy who got his hair transplant done in another clinic. 12 months later, no hair.
Wow.
And I was like, what's, So again, I may be repeating myself, but the more I saw videos about Eugenix, there's so many videos, there's so many great results that consistency is like, I feel confident that I'm going to be one more success story to that,
Thank you. That means a lot, because we are working really hard in order to make sure that we are able to reach out as far as possible to every customer out there who is looking for a transplant and is a quality oriented guy, who's really looking for quality. And I think what matters more is that now that because I work as a counselor, so I talk every day to many people, and there are many people who are really not aware of the quality, because for them they think that it's just a process. So you're gonna do it and hair are gonna come out. But when I tell them about the detailing of it, that how a hairline is done and how extractions are done, and how how important it is to do a proper gapping between the existing hairs to avoid shock loss.
Yes.
That's where they feel that they say that they weren't aware of such things.
Yeah.
And when you pour in that knowledge into them, after that, those guys who are more cost oriented, even they turn out to be quality oriented. When you show them the honesty of how beautiful this industry can be, and how the failure, the results also look out there if you don't follow how quality works. So I think it's very important to educate you on the quality itself.
Yeah, I mean, DHT, right?
Yeah.
The process that you guys used, where the minimal time from donor area to implant area, that was one of the areas that I didn't find anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and I think that, I mean, I'm no doctor, right? But I think that for me, in my head, the way I logically reasoned it was, it makes more sense that the less time the hair spend outside, the more the hair growth is better, right? So that's something that I couldn't find in other clinics at all. So I don't know if you guys invented it or not, but it's...
Of course we did.
Yeah.
It's officially over there in the PubMed. .com. If you search about DHT, there would be two names, Dr. Pradeep Sethi and Dr. Arika Bansal, as the founding surgeons of DHT, the Direct Hair Transplantation, the ones who have founded this method, and that's how it is.
Of course. So,
and I think we have spoken much about the technique and that how the processes went. If I may ask you, if there are certain things that you like about Eugenix, on term of a humane level, like when we walk into a store, there are certain things that awe us. So in terms of as an institution, what did you really like about Eugenix?
I mean, this may sound a little bit cliche, but customer service is amazing, right? So from, again, not even from the moment I walked in, from the airport, it was like the person who picked me up, they actually went to where I was, and then they picked me up and everything. So from that moment, I felt like I was in good hands. And once I got here to the clinic, there was people helping me throughout the process, explain, like I said, water, coffee, explaining me the process. This is what's gonna happen, so I felt taken care of the whole way throughout, and that's something that I never felt out of place. I never felt like, I feel, no, it was all good. I felt really, like at home, with friends, and even before meeting you, speaking through WhatsApp. The relationship that you and I had from speaking, from before, it was, I felt like I was talking to a friend, right?
Yeah.
So
that's very important.
Yeah.
Not to treat someone as more of a, like someone who's gonna give you business, but more of as a friend. That's how we have been taught. That's how what have been incurred in us by our founding surgeons, that just be a friend to him.
Yeah. That's
all you can do. And let him decide what he wants to do.
Exactly.
You do your best, you give him the knowledge. So even if he's not going to come to us, but by the amount of knowledge that we're going to give him, he's going to make the correct decision.
Yeah.
So if I ask you one more question, you have your family and your loved ones. So when you shared the idea with them of getting the surgery done overseas, traveling to India, so what was there? I mean, like what drove the confidence?
Yeah. So when I first shared my desire to come to India for the hair transplant, they were like, "What? Why India? Like I'm from Mexico." So they told me, why don't you go to Mexico and get it done there? And I did my research, obviously, in some Mexican clinics. I never really felt, even though I'm from there, I never really felt the confidence in the results that I wanted to feel, like I'm gonna put my trust in these surgeons. So it took me a little bit of time to explain to my family, like, this is why, this is the reason. And I showed them some videos and I explained to them, the difference between Eugenix and other clinics. And in the end they understood, but they were like, why are you traveling halfway across the world when you could have it done,
makes sense,
somewhere
from their
else.
point of view, it makes sense.
Right, of course. And I understood
if I tell my mom today that I'm going to Africa, or maybe somewhere more far, to Canada for a surgery, she might also end up telling me that why not over here.
Right.
You need to tell them that what's the reason behind it.
Yeah. And of course, in the end, they understood, but it took a little bit of talking to them. And in the end, it was my decision, right? Like, I had done enough research to know that I was confident in my decision. But yeah, it was just a fun conversation with the family. But yeah, in the end, you know, I haven't seen them. Obviously, I will see them when I go back. But we FaceTime and they're like, "Oh my God, you look so good." So
yeah, it doesn't actually feel like that, you know. It's 7 days now, but if someone will look at you right now,
yeah,
they won't be able to tell that you have been through a transplantation.
No.
They'll just feel that you've kept a buzz military cut or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
More of like a short hair look.
I had a talk with one of my aunts who's not in my immediate family, so and a video call actually today in the morning, early morning because of the time difference, and she was like I know you had a hair transplant, but I just feel like you just have short hair and that's it.
Okay.
So I showed her like, and she was like, "Oh, you look good, but you can't tell that anything was done." So yeah, I mean, and that's another important thing, that you can't tell.
You can't tell. That's very important.
So I told none of my friends that I was gonna get a hair transplant.
Okay.
So that's gonna be my test.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our test.
Yeah, that's gonna be the test. Like if they tell me like, "Hey, did you do?" I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, I'm gonna see what happens.
But what's very important, since we are on this conversation, and I'm pretty much sure that this is being recorded as well. What's very important I think we might have even spoken about it, and a lot of people, they don't have an idea about it, is that after the surgery, from the onset of the second or the third week, you go through a shedding phase into your transplanted area, where the grafts which have been implanted, they usually go through a hair fall. And many people, they get panic in that particular stage of time. This goes on for another 3 months. Right. And because being a counselor, I'm their first point of contact. They end up calling me and they feel that I am losing hair again.
Right.
And that even the ones for what I've paid for. So it just you know, you need to explain them that this is a very natural process of shedding phase that will go on for next 3 months. And I believe that as a counselor, it's very important to educate your consumer about what's going to happen with your scalp for the next couple of months. So I'm pretty much sure that I have told you, but just I wanted to rephrase it, that there might be a time, you know, in the next 3 months that you might lose hair in the transplanted area. Yeah. But yeah, by the end of 9 and 10 months, I'm pretty much sure you'll have a head full of hair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. Like I've seen results from other places, and I don't mind the three month gap. And even again, seeing your results that 3 month, yes, there's a little bit of shedding, but not compared to other places. So you still have some, at least from the results that I've seen. So it's not too bad.
So now, if I talk about that one thing that I asked you, we'll talk about it later, is the medical visa.
Yeah.
You were the first one, and I was the first one to, you know, really root for you that yes, Enrique got the visa.
Yeah.
It's not like that I want to stand up, but I was really proud of it that, you know, you finally got the visa. So how was the whole process? Because India is not giving a regular business.
Yeah. So there was, again, a lot of research had to be done on my part in regards to the visa. I reached out to the consulate of India. The one that was closest to me was the one in Texas. I sent them an email, and they gave me all the detailed information of what I needed to have done, right? So I went above and beyond of what they asked me. I went a little bit beyond what they asked me. So I can't remember off the top of my head what they asked me for, but I know that a letter from the doctors was really important. And I got a letter obviously from Eugenix. I got a letter from a doctor in the US. And I actually wrote a letter myself as well, saying why I needed this transplant.
Yeah.
Right? So I explained to them in detail why I felt like this was urgent for me, because in the past 12 months I've seen, you know, significant hair loss, kind of from where COVID started, you know, the past 12 months. And I needed, the hairline was receding way too fast. So I needed this done as soon as possible. And then I fulfilled all the other requirements. And from there, I mean, it was just a waiting game, right? I had to ship in my passport and a few other documentations physically to the consulate, and then wait about 5 to 7 business days. And then I got my passport back, and I opened my passport, and I had the acceptance sticker. So it was a great feeling, because online it still said under process.
Okay.
So it didn't say, actually before I came here, it still said under process online. So I was so confused, but I knew that with the sticker on the passport, I was good to go.
Yes.
Or at least I was hoping that, because I was like, okay, if I get to the airport and they say, oh, it's still under process, But no, just with the sticker on the passport, you're good to go. And it tells you like, oh, you have 90 days, I think, or something like that. So it was a great feeling. Once that happened, I booked the flight, I booked the hotel. Everything was, I talked to you, and the whole thing happened. So
it actually gives us immense joy, and we are really grateful towards your efforts that you have placed it, because you chose us out of so many other clinics out there, and then you fly down all the way till over here for the surgery, and you're looking forward to certain results of what you have expectations in your mind. So that also gives us a sense of responsibility of what we are doing for the society out there. And that gives us more confidence in order to grow much more bigger, and to reach out to people, quality oriented people like you, so that you should make the correct decisions. And thank you so much, for choosing us and putting in all these efforts. And I hope we have been fair, and we have been honest towards our work, and that's about it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Glad to be here. I mean, the experience again has been really, really good overall. Really happy so far with how it looks, and I mean, I'm looking forward to. I just want 3 months or 6 months to go by just to see how my hair is gonna look, but gotta be patient. But I mean, definitely if I may add something to other people, because I've been in that position, right, of where to go, how to make that decision. I think, obviously, first and foremost, do your research and follow your gut. Like, that's what I did, right?
That's very important.
Once again, for me, that peace of mind that Dr. Arika and Dr. Pradeep give me, hearing them speak, and obviously their knowledge, their knowledge both, in the medical realm and in the life realm, let's call it.
Spiritual realm.
Spiritual and everything is so. It just gives me so much peace, right? You just connect, and that's what I felt. So I would recommend that to people. Feel it out. Whoever you choose, again, do your research, feel it out. It's
at the end of the day, as we say, it's do it once and do it right.
Right. Exactly.
You need to get this one. You can't be like okay, let's just try out this one and we'll try another one. So it's all about one-time thing. Let's get it done correct in the first time itself, and live the rest of your life stress-free without any hair loss issues.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.